Never mind. Never mind. Cleef battle comes to play, but it is not enough as Arkansas having one of the worst home records in memory in conference play fall to the struggling, fledgling Vanderbilt Commodores by a score of 85-82. Has Vanderbilt scored 80 points this entire season? No. Did they do it in Bud Walton? Yes. I don't know. Man, I tell you what, this game was a real disappointment because the first 10 minutes you thought like we were like, this is it, man. This is the team. This is like they've turned the corner and they look like they were gonna put the beat down on Vanderbilt. Credit to Jerry Stackhouse. And he switched to that sort of trapping high up zone and clog the paint. And we did not know what to do with that. So we decided what we would do with that is shoot 33s. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll shoot 33 pointers. That'll probably get it done. Arkansas goes 23 of 57 for 40%. But think about this. They shot 57 shots. 30 of them were from three. Now, I'm not opposed to shooting threes. I know about modern basketball. You got to shoot some threes. Arkansas has no business shooting 33s in a game. I guarantee you, if Arkansas shoots 33s in a game, they lose.
Yeah, I mean, first off, can't tell you how disappointing it is. I mean, it's just back to being just unbelievably frustrating. Like to lose that way. It'd be one thing if you went out there and it kind of seemed like this there was a stretch when we just couldn't hit a shot, but we were taking long shots. I mean, we kept taking long shots, and it was basically like every other time down the court, someone put their head down and drove and got fouled and was like, okay, I'll shoot a free throw. And then next time, like, well, I don't want to do that again. So I guess I'll shoot a three. Like they stopped. I don't know why. It wasn't like we weren't having success. I mean, we weren't making a ton of layups, but we were getting fouled. I mean, dude, that maybe the most annoying game I've watched all year as far as like frustrated. I mean, just ugly, constant. It's just a free throw shooting contest for 80% of the game, it seemed like. But some games, like you can imagine a game where the shots just don't drop. Sometimes you have those games where like you shoot like freaking 20% and like shots don't go down and you lose this game 48-51. It's like, God bless it. We just couldn't make a shot. You scored 80. Like you, sh-
Yeah.
the problem with this game was we could not stop. Somehow they forgot how to stay in front of people again.
Dude, that Mignon, Devo couldn't guard him. And I mean, he just got blown by several times. Okay. Um, also, I think to put it bluntly, if Battle plays 39 minutes, he has 36 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. I mean, if Battle doesn't just like start getting downhill, and if he doesn't hit 4 threes, and he's not like, I mean, you're probably getting blown out in this game.
Well, yeah, I mean, because they actually did. I mean, the reality of the second half is they actually lost by more like 10 points. Vanderbilt had a 10-point lead a large percentage of the second half.
I mean, I think with
It
4 minutes, it was 10 points with 3.5, 4 minutes left.
yeah, 3.5, 4 minutes. And the thing is, I mean, I'm not trying to take it away, but basically they forced us or baited us into shooting long shots. We shot a bunch of them. Most of them didn't go down, or a lot of them didn't go down. But then we ended up in the situation you're down by 13 with 4 minutes to go. Now you have to shoot them. You know what I mean? Now there's nothing else to do. And they started to go down. And, Brazil hit one, and Battle hit one, and Ellis hit one. And now it's like, oh, you have a shot. And I mean, you actually had a good shot. But I mean, and I'm not trying to take that away from him, but like basically you were desperate in the final minutes, and a bunch of the shots that weren't going down, the percentages shifted and you hit a bunch in a row, and that got you close. But if you cut out those that 9 points in like 45 seconds that we got. I mean, they just outplayed us in the second half we actually got beat by like 10 or 12 points for the majority of that. Now, that being said, the 3-point gods did smile on you in the final thing, and it would be nice if you could have taken that gift and not foul a guy 37 feet from the basket with 4 seconds on the shot clock. That really was like the backbreaker. You know what I
There's
mean?
two.
Like if
There's two of
you
them. There's two of them. I'll tell you, like Arkansas could have come back and won a game that they didn't deserve to win. But don't get it twisted. We didn't deserve to win this game. But we're going to win this game if you don't do two things. One is okay. I didn't think Brazil played bad. He only played 17 minutes. You know, he was 2 of 3. He had 7 points. He did get 6 rebounds. He had a block. He also fouled out in 17 minutes and had the worst foul that you could possibly have in this game. Mekhi Mitchell plays 18 minutes. I don't know what's going on here. Lawson plays 10 minutes. I know we went small some. They basically divided that. You take Brazil's minutes and Mitchell's minutes and Lawson's minutes, and you basically have like your center minutes. But the way that Mekhi playing bad. I mean, he played 18 minutes. He had 5 rebounds. He had 1 assist, no turnovers, no points. I mean, I just don't. I don't know what's going on with that. The offense against a zone, you getting the ball to Mitchell in the high post seems like the right thing to do, but you can't do that if he's not on the floor. Like, he's a good guy to run the offense through. I just don't get it. Instead, you have Brazil on the floor at that time in the game, and yeah, it makes. I mean, honestly, you can't make that play like that. Like that's in it. The guy is 33 feet from the basket with 4 seconds on the shot clock. I mean, you just can't foul there. And then
I'm
on top
assuming
of that,
I'm assuming he would say he thought the shot clock reset.
I don't know, like maybe, or I just thought I could get the steal. I don't know. I'm just trying to put out effort. Whatever. Like the other
To
thing
me,
is,
it looked like he thought the shot clock reset, and he was basically like, "Well, I'm going to go for it," because now you're down by what was I think 3 with under 30 like 32 seconds or something. And so it's like, well, now it's worth going for a steal and getting a foul because we can't let them run the shot clock out again. We have to foul them.
dude.
So
Here's the other thing. And we didn't get to. I mean, the rebounding was about even in this game. I think maybe we got rebounded by 1. But we should have won the rebounding battle in this game, and it would have helped if we did. Guys going in there and like getting rebounds for dunks and all this stuff. You have Lawson out there. He's only out there for 10 minutes. Lawson has 0 rebounds, and like I saw multiple times, Lawson can't rebound.
yeah,
He's a terrible rebounder. I don't know what the deal is. I
it's
know he's got,
because it's because he doesn't have a strong foundation. He's so I think, and this is just he'll get better at this probably. I mean, if he
he's a
continues to
senior.
play at some level. Well, I mean, I'm talking about at some level. But I mean, you could tell. I felt like some guys, and I think Brazil has this a little bit too. Their bodies and their athleticism has allowed them in high school to just not have to do things that other guys have to do. Like the fact that Mitchell isn't an amazing athlete has made it where if he doesn't box guys out, amazing athletes are going to outjump him. You know what I mean? Because he's big, but he's not getting up to the top of the backboard. Whereas you can tell Lawson, he just tries to reach up with his huge long arms and just try to grab the ball. And in high school, I'm sure he grabbed every ball 2 feet before anyone else could get it. And I noticed the same thing where he is standing with 2 guys on either side of him, and he's just basically trying to like outreach them. And it's like, and since he's not super strong at his foundation, they eventually like the ball gets tapped, and then they kind of bump him, and then he's out of position, and he's like reaching he never got any of them. He was playing like patty cake with the ball all night and never ended up with any of them. And some of that's maybe bad luck, but he doesn't know how to body guys out.
Well,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
So tell me if I have these. I think I have these right. So Brazil commits that foul, right, and fouls out, and then right after that, you have a guy shooting free throws because of this foul. Who do you not put in the game? You don't put Mitchell in the game. Instead, you have Davenport and Mark on the blocks, I think. Those guys shooting free throws. He misses, and you do not secure the rebound. Why don't you have Mitchell in the game when the guy's shooting free throws so you can have him on the block? Because here's the thing, like that wasn't
I'd rather have
unfortunate.
Blocker on the block
No
than
kidding. Like, so you have, I get it. Like that miss is a tough miss. We know about that. Like the ones that barely hit the front of the rim, it was a long rebound. But still, the reason the guy got the rebound is because you didn't have your body on him. And I bet you Mitchell would have had his body on him. Like you're like, oh, it went over my hand. We've all had that happen. And like that happens in the course of a game. But on the free throw line, the body that your body is supposed to be banged up against is right. You know who it is. Like, so he can't get it over the top of you because I'm pushing you back and I'm right where you are. I'm in front of you. And it's, and you have, you have non-rebounding dudes on the block. I mean, Mark's a good rebounder, but like it didn't go to his side. So I like Davenport, but I don't understand. Like, this is like a crucial part of the game. If you're going to have a
how tall is
miss,
Davenport?
I don't know, 6'6" or something. I don't know, but
But
like
how tall is Mitchell?
6'10".
That's what I mean. Like, just I don't. Yeah,
Well,
I
how
mean,
big?
honestly, dude,
How much? And how, don't get me started on that. Like who weighs more? What are we talking about here? Like, if at the end of a game, you're trying to come back and you're like, oh, really unfortunate foul there. Now this guy's going to the free throw line. What is the most important thing right now in this particular play? Because at the end of games, when it's that close, you're coaching for every play. Like, because you need all the plays to go your way to complete this comeback. So in that moment, when Brazil fouls out and a guy's going to go to the free throw line, what are you hoping for? Well, I sure hope he misses. And if he misses, what do you need to do? Secure the rebound. What in the
was
world,
he?
dude?
I mean, dude, I've been saying this all. I mean, because Muss has a lot of equity, obviously, in the bank, and we say it all the time. He knows more about basketball than I'll ever know. But this year has been confusing. Like there has been a lot of confusing things with the substitutions. And like I said, I don't know. I'd like to hear him describe his ethos. Like maybe he has like a thing where he's like, I run a ship a certain way, and if you don't do these things, I've got to prove a point to you. And maybe Mitchell was late to meetings. Maybe he's something like, and he was like, I don't even care. I do what I do, and if it hurts the team, like this is more important. I have a thing where if you don't come to the do the fun, I mean, I don't know, but because it can't be a mistake. If it's a mistake, then like if he was trying to like go small because he's like we need to get we're gonna get it and we're gonna speed down the court, so I want all the fast guys in. It's still like you still have to get the rebound. Maybe he just assumed he was gonna make the free throws, but I mean, like you said, there's Musselman, but then it's not just him. It's Ronnie Brewer. It's 35 guys that are behind him or whatever, that whole staff. And it's like, have they all lost their minds?
Well, I like,
Like,
okay, like I said, nothing against Trevor Brazil. I would, and I think I'd like if Brazil came back, but you've been struggling as a team the majority of this year. You were starting to put it together. I don't need you to play Brazil right now. Like, it's great. Like, let him rehab and like maybe he's going to come back and he can be like an important piece next year. And I'm not like giving up on him or anything like that. But like when something's working, why are we going away? Why is Brazil on the floor? Why? Like, what? Like, and I don't mean like, I mean, I know he's a freak talented guy, but like we already know what, like you got like a little thing going here. Like, why are you messing with it?
well, also, yeah, I mean, even the things like, I mean, they still haven't started Mitchell, and I just don't understand it. Like, and I
And
don't
why is
understand. I mean,
Blocker
it's
playing 5 minutes in this game?
yeah,
Why is he playing 5 minutes, dude? Like, why is Blocker not guarding this guy that is absolutely murdering you? And by the way, when Blocker was in there for 5 minutes, you know who he guarded? That guy. And you know who didn't score? That guy. Like
It's
he
crazy.
made
Like
him get rid of the ball. Like, and also Blocker's the dude that's over here bouncing all over the like doing all the stuff, man. Like I don't like
blocked a guy, blocked that rundown block he had where I mean, did they call it? I think they might have called a foul on the body, possibly,
yeah.
but didn't matter. He freaking swatted it 3 feet up on the backboard.
Dude,
I
he had two plays that he just kept alive by sheer just like being just playing all effort, just coming in,
mean,
tipping stuff.
honestly, I mean, I'm gonna watch the press conference because I don't understand, and dude, we're gonna have to get popular enough to get in those press conferences because I know, I mean, sometimes they ask questions, but a lot of times they're like, "Hey there, Mush, tough loss. Makai Mitchell, what about his minutes?" Like, I'm gonna be like, dude, did Blocker and Makai Mitchell slide into your wife's DMs or something? Why are they not on the floor? What is happening? Like, is there a vendetta? Like, are they not doing? Because I get if they're like smoking weed outside the practice facility or like are they doing something wrong? Like what are they not showing up to practices? Like what is going on? Are they being I mean and but what's even more confusing is it's not just like they're benched, they're playing just not very much. Like what is going on?
Yeah, I don't get it. So that's all the frustrating stuff. You know, if dude, I mean, I'll just tell you, like in my mind, like I'm playing Ellis, Mark, Battle, Mitchell, Blocker, Davenport. Lawson's probably like he's gonna be my backup for Makai when Makai needs a rest. But that's my guy. That's who I'm playing. And I know you just heard me leave Devo out. I'm probably not playing Devo a ton. He's not playing well. He will.
No,
He will.
and this run we went on where we were playing better was without Devo playing large minutes
Mm,
for the most part. He played a little bit like a little more last game, but like he he wasn't a part of them getting better. Honestly, like
dude,
he left.
dude.
They started to pull it together. He came back. He played limited minutes, and they still did pretty well. And then, like, but he's not having success. And I just like I said, I can't believe that. I mean, I feel like I must be missing something. I wish there was another person here now that who like has a different opinion and has a different point of view because I don't understand when there's a one particular guy that the whole problem is and dude, it got to be palpable where like the announcers, everybody in the crowd knows it. Like the guard in the second half with like 10 minutes to go, it's like, well, we cannot stop this guy. Every time down the court, we're fouling him or he's scoring. Like every time, or he's passing it to someone who's
Or he's getting into the teeth of the defense. Like, I mean, you got to understand. Like, some people might look at it and be like, I mean, look at it. I'll look at it right now. So Mignon, uh, 36 minutes, and you're like, I mean, you had 22 points. I mean, like, that's a lot. It's a good game. But you're like, no. It's not just the 22 points, dude. Like, that dude was getting in wherever he wanted to get other people open. And sometimes it wasn't just his pass, it was him getting in there, pass, then the next pass. But that's still all him.
it's hockey assist. Yeah, no, it was so clear that he was our problem that like the puzzle was Musk kept trying to figure out how to stop him, and to the point that at the end they were running two defenders at him.
Yeah, just get the ball
Whereas
out of his hands.
they had Battle running at him and trying to get the ball out of his hands multiple times. It's like is one thing that you could try is see what Blocker could do.
I saw what he could do. I saw he did. Like, I mean, and I'm not saying he could shut him down the whole game. I saw him guard him for a little bit, and he did the best job for sure.
Well, I mean, and like to be fair, I mean, he got some confidence. He got to feeling himself and he got under control and he kind of had he had Ellis and Battle and Devo all figured out. And why like I'm not saying Blocker would have had that same level of success because like I said, he was feeling himself by the end. But let's see. That's like you could either double team him or you could try this first or even after. Like it's one thing you could try. You do have this young player that's a defensive like phenom. That's what he does. And I don't know.
Well, let's say
Yeah.
for me, like I'm probably start like if I'm probably starting Mitchell, Davenport, Mark, Ellis, and Battle, and then I'm bringing Blocker and Blocker and Lawson off the bench, and I'm gonna play like that's gonna be 90% of the minutes I'm about to play.
Mm-hmm. all that, and we still had a. I mean, dude, if Mark had hit that shot, which was like I couldn't believe how good the shot a look he got to tie the game. Vanderbilt, I'd been like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
What a,
Yeah.
I mean, if there was ever a foul, I mean, that's like a setup where you make in like a example to show like when you should down by 3.5 seconds, got to bring it all the way up court. You just foul the guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's gonna be 1 second left, and they're gonna be down by one. All you have to do is inbound it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't
But
get it. And by the
they
way, like, I mean, we had guys that played pretty well. I mean, like, and defensively, we were just terrible. And mostly just like we couldn't stay in front of people and we couldn't not foul people. We were just fouling all over the place and like unnecessary foul. I mean, fouls that you just, I mean, you're going to foul some. And if you're going to play, if you're going to play hard defense, you're going to foul. I mean, a guy like Blocker is going to foul. A guy like Blocker probably could never play 40 minutes in a game because he'd foul out for sure. Like, I
Mhm.
get all that. But that, like, there's a lot of fouls here that didn't need to happen where you're just like, why, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And like, there was other performance. I thought Ellis played really good. I mean, Ellis had 19 points this game and made some big shots. He made some big tough twos, made, you know, three big threes. He played really well. I mean, I thought Battle played really well. I mean, he had 36 points and he was getting down. He shot 17 free throws. I mean, he was doing work. Mark didn't play great. He was 3 of 11, and he was 1 of 5 from three. He didn't shoot great, but he was 8 for 8 from the 3-point line. He had 6 rebounds. He had 15
I
points. Like
wish he
he,
was 8 for 8 from the 3 point line.
it was. But like, dude, these 3-point numbers. Ellis is 3 for 6. That's fine. Mark 1 for 5. Davis 0 for 1. Battle 4 for 10. Brazil 1 for 1. Blocker 0 for 2. Davenport 1 for 5. 33s is like just, I mean, they made 10 of them. I mean, they shot 33% as a team, which like isn't like awesome, but isn't like horrible. But like, if you shoot 33s, you better make 10.
Well, and it's more that Vanderbilt gambled like everybody does when you pack the paint. I mean, we talked about this before. Like, they gambled and they won. They gambled that we wouldn't be able to make enough threes if they could keep us from making layups. And I mean, because like with Davenport and even Battle, they missed some good looks.
Yeah.
Like, they were baiting us into some decent looks, you know what I mean? And now I actually have to say Mark took a few that were very ill-timed. There was one particular one where we had come back, I think, to within 4, and it was one of these times with, like, 5 or 6 minutes to go, and we had some momentum, the crowd was getting back into it, we pulled it to, like, within 4. I think you remember, like, this is when it was like, "Okay, we've got this." There's, like, 6 minutes to go or something, and we're now within 4, and we had the ball, and we came down, and he shot a guarded, quick three-pointer from the elbow, and, um, I was like, "This is you're within 4, like, force the issue, get to the free throw line, get this down to 2." Instead,
Hmm.
doink, and I think they went down and hit a 3, now it was 7, and immediately they went up to, like, 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, man, when you've struggled to get it back, you're within 4, like, you could cut this down to a one-possession game. Why are you taking
Yeah.
this early, quick, I don't know.
Well, there's a lot. This team too, like when they're not playing well, like when it's not going well, especially on the defensive end, I see so much. Like you see, all of a sudden, you see a guy getting a dunk down the pipe, or like a guy all of a sudden like makes a pass and someone's getting a wide open layup, and this team all the time looks at each other and everyone goes, and that tells you something where you're like, what's like, they're like, whose fault was that? Who didn't? Someone didn't do something, and you're like, well, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they're still like I said, they're playing harder, but they're just not good defensive players instinctively. There was one time where that guard Ellis was guarding him and he got screened, but he went, the other guy shaded enough that he couldn't drive, and then Ellis had a chance to get back to him. And I was as he was getting back to his man, I'm like, you can't guard him with your hips turned towards the, like you might as well not even guard him because he had the time to get back in front of him, but he got in front of him like on the
Some
wrong side of his body. You know what I mean? He's like
bro,
he was basically just like, well, I'll usher you to your strong hand at the basket. Like I'm basically not even here
yeah.
as far
Okay,
as
so
you're
see,
concerned.
so like when you're teaching someone, like your kid, like about defense, and like I get it, like because I do this, and you're telling you I do this when I play basketball. Like you say, hey, you want to take away their dominant hand. So like I'll tell my daughter that, like, hey, you got like you guarding especially like someone that's fast or someone that likes to drive. If they were dominant right hand, say, hey, make them go left. Like I mean, they're probably not that they can't, but they're probably would rather not. You don't want them to go right. They're probably way more comfortable going right. That's where they're going to be. You're going to get in trouble there. So, you know, turn like you want to kind of take away that and make them go left. Dude, we taking away guys' dominant hands to like an absurdity. Like, I mean, I see some dudes like they'd be like standing next to the person with like I'm gonna sit on your dominant, and you're like, well, I mean, you can't do it to that degree. Like that's insane. Like, I mean, you're just giving them. I mean, you could be able to barely dribble with your left hand and freaking take advantage of that. Like that's wild.
Well, and what I always mean when I'm talking about, um, defensive like intuition and stuff is i- game in game there's a physics or like a calculation of risk in defense that is changing constantly from the position on the floor, the player that has the ball, the player that's in the corner, the play like depending on who's where, and it's constantly changing the percentages of where should I go, who should I shade, how far should I play off, should I help, and it's all based on do I have a 3-point shooter that I'm guarding in the corner, is the guard in a position where he can see that guy, can he make that pass, and like does he and it's even and that's why it's constantly like I mean when they teach me it's man ball man ball man ball you got to constantly be looking and not just at your man but everybody and you, really good defensive players are able to constantly do that arithmetic in their head and put themselves in at least the most advantageous spot and they gamble at the highest percentage all the time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And these guys just aren't great at that. You know what I mean? Sometimes they leave a guy they shouldn't leave and and sometimes they don't help. And it's like, why are you not helping off? You've got the center in the corner. You're going to, yeah, he might get a three. He might even be capable of making a three. But the defensive calculation says give that guy a three in the corner if this guy's able to find him because he's a great driver and he's got your guy on his back hip. You need to come over or he's got a layup. You know what I mean? And um and I mean that's true. I mean, I was thinking about this like I mean, nobody cares about this, but we were playing pickup on Sunday, and it's like we were the team that was at a disadvantage with the team we were playing. We were not as gifted as them. And when we managed to somehow come back and get within 2 points of winning that game, and I think they needed a one and we needed a two, and we hit the ball. And Ryan got the ball 36 feet, like way out, like 5 feet behind the 3 point line. And normally he's not like an amazing 3 point shooter. He can hit them, but you could see that the guy that was guarding him was thinking, well, there's no way this guy is going to shoot I mean, it's be selfish. And you could tell Nathan, has a very high basketball IQ, knew that in this moment, Ryan is a very smart player too. It's like, this is like, if I can get this shot, we don't have a great shot to win this game. We're probably like, it's a miracle that we're even in this game. Normally this would be a terrible shot, but based on our chances to win, like I'm going to go ahead and
And your unwillingness, like it's a knowing that you have to, that there's a high likelihood that you need to win the game on this possession.
yes, and it's like and we're not and they know it too and they're not going to give us any good looks at twos and he caught the ball with his feet set and even though it's deep and it wasn't like the guy wasn't guarding him at all, but Nathan, you could tell Nathan was like immediately goes, "He'll shoot it." And it's like Nathan could tell like the algorithm right now says this isn't as bad a shot as it normally would be
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we don't have a good shot at making like we didn't have a point guard. We don't have a good 3-point shooters. We needed to. Nathan is not going to give us the ball back. Like he was going to go win that game, and it's like it. And sure enough, he pulled up and knocked it down. It's like you could just tell that Nathan's IQ. That's what I'm talking about. Like it was time and possession and position and feeling what was happening in the game. It's like he's gonna pull that if he gets any kind of a whiff of a look
Yeah.
because we're kind of desperate. You know what I mean? And anyway, these guys on defense just don't have that good instinct for where to be and where to put themselves and who. Like sometimes, like even though, like even if you get told guard the guy's strong hand, there are times where there's nobody on the other side and the defensive help is all from the other direction. And actually, the right thing to do is to send him to the help. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
And you just got to make, like I said, it's a constant algorithm that you got to be doing in your head, and our guys aren't great at that. They've definitely increased their defensive intensity, their energy level, but they're just not great defensive players, most of them, you know, and it
Yeah.
got exposed last night. And actually, I think the main thing that's disappointing is it just goes to show like the teams we've been beating, and we said this last time, like, you know, it's a little bit of fool's gold. We're beating these flagging teams, these fledgling teams, but like you kind of think, well, are we getting good enough? Could we go in there and maybe like put up a fight against a Tennessee or Alabama or Kentucky? It's like, I don't know, dude. Those guys are going to be pretty hard to stop. Like, I think, yeah, Battle, maybe he'll get off and get his 25, 30 points. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep Alabama from scoring 100. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know this, dude. Also, like, you have to learn quick on defense. You have to learn quickly. Mignon's hezzy was real nasty. Right? That hesitation dribble was nasty. But I do know once I've seen it twice that like I'm not gonna bite a third time. Come on.
mhm.
Like you don't get beat with the same move over and over again, man. Like what do you like? Come on, like stay down. Like don't
Yeah,
let him do that to you. Oh, I get it. The first time I'm like you're like, whew, that's filthy. But I don't know the third, fourth time you're like, dude, I don't know if you know, but that's what like he's gonna do that to you. He's gonna keep doing that till it don't work, and you need to make sure it don't work the fourth time. It's like a dude in the
yep,
post that always throws a head fake. And the first time you're like, this is a good head fake. Second time, maybe the second time too, you're like, oh. But that's when I realized, like, oh, you always throwing. Like, I should never assume that you're not throwing a head fake first. I
mhm.
always got to stay down. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no,
Anyway,
I mean, playing against guys that you know, kind of know what they want to do, and that's why, I mean, I would think I've never been in a position where we watched film on guys, and maybe you can't learn that much film, you know, maybe it's not as helpful because I've never done it. But I mean, you got to assume they're watching film and like watching other guys,
they got a whole
you know.
staff watching film and then comparing notes. What are you talking about? Like they
I'm
be
talking
watching
about
like
for a guy like Ellis, like
they're assigning like a different starter to each guy on the stat. And like this dude's watching like last 5 games and only watching this one player and then coming back with detailed notes of like, here's over the course of 5 games, here is what this guy does. Here's where he wants the ball. Here's the moves that he makes. Here's the hand. Like, yeah, dude, like that's how that's going. So
well, disappointing. Sorry,
yeah.
guys.
Anyway,
Still got that miracle run we're gonna have. I mean, Kentucky and Alabama and Tennessee are all gonna get beat somehow. And then we'll beat Georgia in the championship game.
that's what we need. That's what we need. All right, man. Well, we'll be back after the Kentucky game.
We'll get them next season.
That's it. All right, man. See ya.
Yeah.